Hi Australian historical fiction fans, and to all those who love the stories of early Sydney and the people and events that shaped it. We've just examined the colony post-Governor Macquarie up to the late 1830s. Now for the next couple of months we'll be looking at the next exciting period of 19th century Sydney, the late colonial period. I'm Michael Beashall, Australian historical fiction writer, and in the weeks ahead we'll dissect the history of that period and how the wool industry exploded, and there's no other word for it. At the end of the 12 weeks we'll culminate the period by doing another series of buildings which represented fine architectural pieces of the late colonial period. Yes, it's the building industry that fascinates me, with its clients, contractors, designers and bureaucrats, but it's also the history of Sydney, because specific drivers of the economy influenced the construction industry and infrastructure that came during this late colonial period. So it's important to understand these external factors which impacted the built environment during that time. Now, during these weeks we'll be looking at the characters, we'll be looking at two governors, and we'll be looking at women as pioneers, as social justice champions, first-time authors and business leaders. We'll peek into the lives of quirky people. Yes, it was a gripping period because it again characterised the deep struggle between those who represented the Tories, like the MacArthurs that we've heard about in previous videos, and those who represented the Whigs, the Wentworths and people like them. Now the fight continues in this late colonial period between those who wanted to maintain the status quo of the elite, to control voting, to control government and the flow of capital, and to keep the convict and emancipist class in its place. And there's, on the other hand, those who wanted a sort of Republic of Australia in the South Seas. Nothing much has changed to this day. Now, in this period there were eye-popping acreages acquired and fortunes made, colonies divided, towns going bankrupt, and the bush providing the wealth, not the towns. So we'll look at these people, we'll look at the industries, at the events of this period between 1838 and 1851, and that'll give us a glimpse and give you a feeling of just what society and politics was all about in that time, and how these influences came to bear on the development of our built industry and environment. So keep a watch out each week on my Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Pinterest and LinkedIn pages for what's to come as we travel along that time. And around about the end of August this year we'll head into a series of iconic late colonial buildings, which will be series number 3 in the built environment of the 19th century. So if you're interested in reading more about that time, then get a sense through my 3 published novels, the Sandstone Trilogy, and take a look at my website, michaelbeashall.com.au. So let's get cracking and welcome to the late colonial period of 19th century New South Wales.